I am being oppressed.
I mean, he is black.
That is true.
Never seen a white Chain Chomp. Seen a gold one before. There's gold ones in Mario Odyssey, but I've never seen a black one. Oh, I tell you what. I may be a Chain Chomp, but when I break free of these here damn near chains, I'm gonna buy damn near every fun guy in this kingdom, I tell you what.
It'd be like one of the few times where I'd almost I'm like
You said that Bowser is the Trump
yeah,
of
like
the Mario universe?
Yeah, what I was about to say though is that like if let's say like, you know, the Chain Chomps like do get off their chain, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're unchained.
Yes.
It'd be one of the few times that I'd honestly be like, you know what? Maybe this is one of the probably gonna be one of the few times that I feel racial hate is probably justified, considering you had my ass on this chain for how many years? Oppressing me, throwing shit at me. You know, throwing shit because you knew that I couldn't bite your fucking ass, but now I'm unchained. Who's laughing now, bitch? And like he just goes around and like just massacres a whole village of toads.
I mean, that's why they keep them on chains in the first place, I can imagine. I mean, you gotta think about it from a Chain Chomp's perspective, alright? They are basically quadriplegics. They not only do not have arms, they do not have legs.
They are, but they are also arguably the most dangerous quadriplegic I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, of course. Are you
the
kidding?
thing is like a metal ball of like death and teeth. So like,
they're dangerous as hell for their political ideology as well. I mean, they listen to Bowser on like a regular basis, like, oh man, I love what Bowser says. He just don't. He says what's on my mind. Like he just says what's on my mind. You feel me? Like he wants to send all them beaners back to the bean kingdom where they fucking belong. And when he said that, I'm just like, damn, that's right. Mushroom Kingdom immigration. I do not like what that Princess Peach is doing.
Is that what Bowser's army is just
Somebody needs to check
of?
Peach's emails.
Like, is that what all of Bowser's army just primarily consists of? It's just like a bunch of people who, like, I guess they're like the Mushroom Kingdom equivalent of MAGA. Like, all these guys follow him just because it's like, he's saying what we're feeling. I like this Bowser feller. His children are kind of weird, but you know, I'm not here to ask questions about no man's business.
I mean, considering how they feel about Herschel Walker, I would imagine that they do not care about the fact that Bowser has 9 fucking kids, probably from all different mothers. When you think about it, they all have different color shells.
They're all concubines.
They all have different color shells. There's no way they all came from the same mother. There's no fucking way.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really it makes you wonder too, because like, you know, Bowser was feeding the lie to Junior for a while. That like, oh yeah, that's your mom.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked up when you really think about it. How he gaslit his child into thinking that he's half human.
But then like the kid realizes, like, you know, by the end, it's like, come on, Dad, I'm not an idiot. It's like, I know she ate my mama. Like, you know, but
of Bowser's Jaw Chops, he was like, he's like, he knows.
It was one of the few times in any Nintendo game I've ever seen where it's like the subject matter, at least towards like, you know, your origin, like a child's like birth, like, you know, what his origin is like was ever brought up, which you know, it is a pretty mature topic. And
Miyamoto did confirm in an interview that the Koopalings are not actually Bowser's kids, like biologically. He said that in an interview once. Bowser Jr. is his actual son, but the other...
So is he just raising the rest like Batman and how he did with Batgirl and like all the other Robins? Is just like, you know, orphans that he found and just like, hey, you want to fuck shit up and have fun with it?
Which one of the Koopalings is Damien? Which one of the Koopalings is Damian Wayne? I partly want to say Ludwig because Ludwig looked like he's got like the rich bitch. Like Ludwig looks like the kind. Ludwig looks like the kind who would like sit in a restaurant and order like some sort of like deconstructed crab steak that was hoisted from the specific like tundra of the Alaskan reef.
I think
or some
Damien,
fancy shit like that.
In that case,
and then you have like fucking Morton who would be like, "Give me a burger." Like you go to a fancy restaurant, be like, I want a baconator.
If we're gonna go off of Damien, I think he would actually be.
Welcome to
like,
DDE,
Junior.
guys. Hi. Like we'll continue the conversation. It's fine. I just wanted to say you're listening to the Double D Experience. We are talking about Koopalings, and then we are going to talk about
sometimes never saying the intro. Sometimes I don't know why it's Tuesday and I'm tired, and always
Sometimes chain chomping, sometimes koopalings, but
And-
never watching Velma. Yeah.
I mean, I did watch it though.
So did I. You want to get into this now, or do we have anything more to say about the koopalings? Because I could
not
talk
really.
about Mario lore all day. Nintendo leaves just enough of it where you could just be like, "Hey, is Dr. Mario a real doctor?" And you can have an hour-long conversation about that. You know what I mean? They really are trying to be the Disney of the fucking gaming world. I mean, they're opening fucking theme parks everywhere now. We'll talk about that another day. Okay.
I mean, they're already kind of doing it with the Mario movie. So
the place looks incredible. Like they have like the restaurants. They have like the Mario themed restaurants and shit. They look so. I want to go.
I feel as if, because I know you usually don't leave the country. Like Japan would be your only reason to like ever go. Like,
well, no,
overseas.
they have one. They have one in. They're opening one in Cali.
Oh, they are. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. I thought it was only like not Disney World, but I guess Universal Japan, because they also have a Universal over there too.
Was in Universal Japan first, and then obviously Universal Florida. And I could be wrong. Didn't they open one in California? It's Universal Studios, right?
Maybe.
Hold on a second. Nintendo theme park.
Because the only Universal that we know of is usually in Florida. Like that's the one that most people.
Yeah, no, it's in North Hollywood. It's in Universal Studios.
Oh,
Hollywood.
okay.
Thank God, because now I don't have to fucking go to Florida to visit.
Yeah.
Thank God.
California,
Woo!
low key is a bit better weather wise, but bro, like
It's better people wise.
Uh,
Well, I mean, I guess unless you go into actual Florida, because like there's Florida where like you go to vacation to Florida and you get people of all kinds, and then there's fucking there's Chain Chomp Florida.
But
You know what I mean?
those-
There's Chain Chomp Florida where they got like laws.
But the banjo playing Floridians, they just mind their own business. They just go hang out in the swamp. Yeah, they do.
Fucking,
No,
they
don't
break
bother
all
nobody.
sorts of laws.
They just there.
They are literally not allowed to have chain chomps. They are banned in that fucking county, and that they have one on their fucking front lawn for all people to see. And then you have the toad that's living in there. It's like, hey, I tell you what. Yeah, you know, I moved from that Mushroom Kingdom. Them laws are a little too liberal, little too queer democratic, if you know what I mean. That's why I don't got here my boy, my son. He's ready to bite. He's ready to do what you think. I love how Chain Chomp in Mario Tennis lives like his Mario Tennis dreams. That's the first Mario game ever where you can play as a Chain Chomp. Because they're like, oh, what's a character we've never added to a Mario sports game or a Mario spin-off before? You've never been able to play as a Chain Chomp in anything. So, like, fuck it. So they put a Chain Chomp in, and he, like, bounces around to move, and he swings the racket with his teeth. It's the cutest thing, honestly. He's just living his tennis dreams, dude. He did not let the fact that he is a fucking quadriplegic stop him from becoming a national champion of tennis.
But like I said though, like, you know, even if you're
Fucking Serena Williams, eat your fucking heart out.
if you're a chain chomp, like being a quadriplegic doesn't really inhibit you from a lot of things.
Well, he never had
considering, like-
arms and legs in the first place.
I know, but it's just like it doesn't inhibit you from at least being feared. Because it's like, I will fuck you up if you get like within my radius. I will literally fuck your shit up. So do not fuck with me. Like, I mean, you know, it's one of the few times that like, if you saw a quadriplegic in real life, you'd feel a mix of pity and like, you know, I could tip this guy over and he can do nothing about it. But you even think about that with a fucking like, you know, thing like a chain chomp, you'll literally probably end your life like right there.
I feel like Chain Chomps like already have a bigger existential crisis beyond not having arms and legs, because they were born without arms and legs, right? So they're like, we're just a species that doesn't have them. It's whatever.
They look
You know what I mean?
manufactured though. That's the thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know what Chain Chomps are born with? A fucking chain on their ass.
And also a desire to kill.
Yes. That's what makes it more messed up. Is that the chains were not put on them to inhibit them from killing people, because they're like Tasmanian devils basically. They have the instinct to just literally bite your ass. Their favorite food is ass. Like imagine that in a nature documentary. Here we have the Chain Chomp eloquently making its way through the bomb battlefields. But what's this?
More than a chain chomp.
A chubby Italian plumber. Its cheeks are the finest delicacies. for chain chomps of all kinds. A nature documentary like, but what's this? The chain chomp subsists on a fine diet of the finest ass.
On the finest ass. Literally just like only wants, like imagine there's like a chain chomp that specifically only wants fat ass white girls.
Yo, that thing must go crazy whenever Daisy walks by. Holy shit. And like not even in a sexual way, it just sees her cheeks like from her dress. It's like, oh damn.
It's like his pupils like dilate too. It's like
His pupils are already dilated. That's the funny part.
it's even more dilated. It just like turns completely black.
Well, besides subsisting on ass, the existential like crisis of the chain chomp is something I feel like I could actually make a fucking video essay on now that we talk about it. Because think about it, they have the innate desire to kill, but the chain that was put on them wasn't put on them. They were born with a chain on their ass. God, that means God literally made those fucking things with an innate desire to kill and said, oh fuck, go back, I fucked up. And then put a chain on its ass to stop it from doing that, rather than just removing it. That's like being born, like, in the wrong skin. It's gotta feel awful, like you have that innate desire to kill, but it's not even humans, or like toads that kept him down. He was born to be inhibited from the very thing he wants to do by his instincts. That's like a tiger being born to like meat, but then a tiger being born with like on a steak. You know what I mean? It's fucked up.
I feel as if like, even if let's say they wanted to put like chomps on like a sanctuary sort of island, like
Right.
kind of like a Jurassic Park, it's like okay, like you know we just dropped them off here. We don't fuck with them. Like this is literally their place. Like do not go anywhere near this place.
I mean, the first world of Mario Odyssey, it's funny that you mentioned like Jurassic Park, because the first level of Mario Odyssey, I mean, after the tutorial, so the second level, I guess, besides Bonton, is Fossil Falls. That's the first area where you can play as a T-Rex. Like that. Oh, they got dinosaurs here and shit.
Yeah.
You know what else they had in that level that they didn't have in almost every level in the fucking game? Chain chomps.
True.
So I think they did a Jurassic Park. You know, funny that you mentioned it. I think they just dumped some of the chain chomps there.
But it's like, you know, if they did leave them there, like let's say, you know, eventually the population of the chain chomps on the island like rose to like even like what 3,000, 4,000, even up to the tens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel as if they would just like kind of eat and destroy like everything.
Even the T-Rexes?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I think 10 chain chomps can kill a T-Rex.
Oh man, you're about to bring up the fucking like, you know, a billion lions versus all the Pokemon debate.
Not even. It's just like, you know, a T-Rex could fuck shit up, obviously. But it's like,
Yeah.
you know, if you, like, you see a chain chomp and its teeth, like, it's a fucking, like, land shark, honestly.
That is a good way to describe them. It literally looks like you took Pac-Man and you spray painted them black and then put dentures in their fucking mouths. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of those images of Kermit the Frog with teeth. Real disturbing shit. Yeah, it's horrible to look at. Don't Google it. It's very disturbing.
I am now fascinated.
No, it's very disturbing. Don't pull it up. Don't pull it up. I'm telling you not to do it.
Oh!
No, why'd you do it? I told you not to fucking Google it.
You know what it reminds me of, though? It reminds me of, like, them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle suits from, like, the 90s.
Oh, stop. That I hated that shit.
What do you think is worse than this? Like, what would you rather be in the same room with? This? Kermit with teeth? Or one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s?
The Turtles. The Turtles. Because Kermit with the teeth, he's like small and Muppet-like because he's a Muppet. He looks like something like out of a movie called Ass Munchers. You're just sitting on a toilet and he just pops through the bottom of the hole. And nom, 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 like right up your rectum. And, no, I don't like that. I think Kermit the Frog with teeth is way more disturbing.
It's so odd, too, because it's like...
And also really fucked up because frogs don't even have teeth.
Oh, no, but I was gonna say, like...
Well, neither do turtles.
In real life...
Neither do turtles.
In real life, like, you know, we couldn't imagine a human being without teeth. Yeah. Like, we just cannot imagine it. Anytime we do...
old people.
No, but, like, once we see, like, people out in the streets, right? And if we see that, like, oh, they're, like, missing a tooth or two, we're like... We're not, like, you know, recoiled. We don't, like, repel from the very sight of it, but we're like, oh, something's missing there. Like, we just, like, feel a little kind of, like... You know, like something's missing. I kind of want to just like fill in that tooth of yours if I could, but yeah, like, but when you see like obviously, especially like in you know, for certain animals, right? Like I saw like, you know, what if like actual legit frogs had teeth? I remember I looked this up for some reason like way back when. It was so fucking random, but like It was like a toad, like an actual like real toad with teeth. Like someone just photoshopped teeth on him, and I'm just kind of like, why would this like that? And automatically, your feeling of it is that like that would be fucking horrifying.
All right.
If they had that.
You might want to hold on to your ass then, and not because of ass munchers. The Gastrotheca guintheri is the only frog with true teeth in its lower jaw. Its teeth have re-evolved after being absent for over 200 million years, challenging Darlow's law.
What the fuck?
I mean, there's also some edited photos here of like frogs with human teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
That is...
But you see what I'm talking about. You see the skeleton, that
yeah,
skull,
yeah.
that thing? That looks,
that's
that
why,
looks
yeah,
positively
just,
prehistoric.
That's why I was just like saying like it's like
well, look, they have like cute little teeth. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
but
they
it's
don't have,
but imagining like human
ass.
but like human sized teeth would be like a completely different story.
Yeah,
like,
I don't have to imagine it. I'm looking at that shit right.
Like even when like I don't know, for some of them it would be really funny because it's like I'm imagining a rhino with like pearly whites. It would just look so fucking funny. Like I don't know why. It's because like rhinos already look like the derpiest fucking animals in the world. Like I know people will say like obviously you know everything that's going on with rhinos and like they'd be poached and everything like you know it's obviously really sad. But if I was a poacher and I just came up to one of these fucking things and they just went like, they just smiled, like showing their teeth, I'd be like, oh fuck, I can't I can't shoot him. No, like he looks so stupid. Look at him.
Like, dude, 4 out of 5 dentists approve of this rhino. So like I can't do anything about that, man.
They literally go out there with the other poachers, rifle in hand and everything, and it's like, oh yeah, there's one right there, right across, like 2 meters out. So he lines up the shot, right? And then the fucking rhino just like turns his head and goes like I would just be like
he turns his face and goes
like I would just be like I already like got my eye on the scope and everything and I'm just like alright, nope, ain't doing it, nope, can't do it. And it's just like, and like the 2 other guys like, yo, like what the fuck? Like we've been out here for 3 days and we finally found one and you don't want to shoot it? It's like, bro, just put your eye in the scope and look at his face. And you tell me if you could shoot him. Look at him.
You know what else shouldn't have Colgate, you know, fucking perfect Crest commercial teeth?
And the rhino just keeps looking back like
he's got too much charm. He's got too much charisma. He just smiles.
It really
back.
does,
Like,
yeah. It's like enough.
Don't get shot.
Enough, yeah. Where the dentist like and his buddies is gonna be like, okay, no, yeah, we can't shoot him. Like they come back and everyone's like, oh, how was your safari to Africa? Like you know, his wife already knew that he was gonna go and shoot a fucking rhino, like already kind of you know like predicting like the shitstorm that's gonna happen to him.
And it's not 1800s anymore. Like you can't go shoot a rhino and then your wife like just pulls her fucking skirt up. It's like that's so hot. But now most women will be like, you fucking piece of shit.
Going off on that, like I know like because poaching was such like a like I mean hunting in general like was just a big thing like way back in the 1800s. But like
by the way, in South Africa you can shoot poachers. It's legal.
Oh, thank God.
You can literally shoot them. It's legal to kill them. That was South Africa's fucking solution.
Okay.
Like their citizens are allowed to kill poachers if they know they're there.
I like that. I like good on you, South Africa.
Yeah,
not so much about apartheid, but you know, like you guys are catching up. You guys are making up, I guess, for what
fair balance, you know?
Yeah, for past grievances. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, the guy came back, and then like his wife's like, oh, where's the ivory? They thought like you know he was bring a rhino horn or some shit, and then he's just like, Betty, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. That rhino and his goofy fucking smile, like almost like it was like a mice and men situation, Betty. I just could not shoot his ass. Like I just could not do it.
He just turned to me and he went and when he went I just couldn't do it. I did kill some bitch ass poachers though. Brought their ass on a fucking pelt.
It's like they're skinned like pelts,
like fucking Leatherface's ass.
Yeah, like they just like flayed ass skin, just like just brought with it.
I brought back the hide of a chain chomp.
If there is anything that I'm glad God just like because you see some of the animals in the world, right? And like, I only bring up God as like, I guess just nature, I guess. Like, like
Scientists say the same thing when they're talking about it. Like, a lot of them will like not even believe in a god, but they'll be like, I can't believe God, made that. Be like, or
only
man kills
God would make
like,
something this like would only make this. Like, that's like their only argument. It's like,
yeah, it's like suddenly
who designed this?
Suddenly they become like designists or creationists again when it comes to like studying nature, which is wild. It's like, they could be the most hardcore atheists ever, but they still use God in their analogy. They use God as analogous with nature. Scientists do that. They do that sometimes when it comes to like when they're talking about animals. Like, if fucking Chain Chomps existed, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
And some shit's just
you can't even shoot Chain Chomps because they're like made of metal.
The
bullets would just bounce.
Some animals in the animal kingdom are just unexplainable, really. The more you look at them, you're just kind of like, how in the fuck do you exist?
You ever see Terrors of the Deep?
Yeah.
That Twitter page?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, don't pull it up. You're pulling.
No,
up
I'm not pulling it up, but I'm like looking up certain animals that shouldn't exist.
Oh yeah, like I remember like one of the earlier episodes we ever did of DDE, we were talking about Subnautica. You were talking about Subnautica to me, and you brought up the Leviathan.
Yeah.
That fucking vagina with teeth. That thing should not exist. My God. Because like over like 90% of the oceans are unexplored. That's what they still say.
And like we still have no idea. We still have no idea what the fuck is down there.
Oh my God.
Like,
I don't much to think about it.
Much of the reefs, like much of the reefs and everything that are down there. A lot of like, let's say, the land formations that are like underneath the ocean. Mm-hmm. We've never really had the chance to ever explore them because our subs just can't handle that pressure.
Yeah, beyond the pressure too, it's not like how it is in cartoons where like you're swimming at the bottom of the ocean or whatever. It's at the very bottom of the ocean, it is pitch like midnight black. Like completely
absolute
black.
No sunlight. Absolutely none.
Yeah, literally none. It's so far deep below that you can't even see the sun no more. Already terrifying enough. Yeah. And then you think about what's in that shit. You got fucking anglerfish. You got, the giant pissed off man-eating alligator fuck you fish. Or whatever it is that Dennis says. No, I didn't say it right. The big, giant, fuck you, man-eater alligator fish. That's what it's called. I remember now. They got those down there. Ugh. And anglerfish aren't even the most terrifying thing down there. And anglerfish are fucking horrifying. Specifically only the female ones, though. The male anglerfish are these tiny little things that nibble on the female anglerfish and literally merge into it. Like from biting onto it. Its face melts onto the female, and then the female grows a set of balls. Yeah, female. It's a really amazing analogous personification of what women do to men in real life, like for humans. Like she piques our interest.
She takes your life. She takes your body. She takes your soul. She takes everything.
She piques our interest. We go over. We start to nibble her. And then it turned out it was a trap the entire time. And she literally turns us into a pair of balls. Ironically, poetically, making us the very thing that drove us to them in the first place. Ain't that some shit? I'm not even kidding, by the way. That's how anglerfish
I know, yeah.
The female anglerfish are the giant, terrifying ones. Like, you remember that scene in Finding Nemo?
Or if you've ever played Banjo-Tooie. There was that big ass anglerfish. That boss actually always scared the fuck out of me. Compared to any of the other ones, like, that one scared me the most because, like, being underwater in general and just seeing something like that in front of your face. And mind you, that I think that a whole boss fight was actually first person. So you're kind of fucked like the whole time just being in there. And like you just see this big ass fucking fish just like getting closer and closer to you.
They knew what they were doing then. It's only first person, that boss?
I think so, yeah.
Ugh.
Like, it still gives me nightmares to this day. Like,
for me, that's the eel from Mario 64.
Oceans in general, like just the whole, like, we talked about this before, guys. Like,
we got alien ass creatures down there.
We had alien ass creatures. Like, and it's very much the same way that that I would at least view if we ever further broke that frontier that is space. It's just the unknown. Like, there's just so much there in our ocean that we kind of view it the same way. Like we don't know what the fuck is out there. Like,
and as
or in
terrifying
there,
as that is, it's so beautiful when you think about it too. It's so cool that so much of that is still unmarked, unmanned. There's so much to discover there that's amazing. It makes you think, how the fuck is there not life outside this planet? You know what I mean? How is there not more out there? You know what I mean? But yeah, like, it's crazy with the anglerfish, man. I mean, they bite, the male bites and it fuses into them and they turns into balls. Because like the male anglerfish, size of my hand, tiny little thing. They're really these tiny little things, and then it just goes up to the fish and it was like, oh my god, I'm in love with you, and it just starts biting her, and it's weird. It's weird shit, man. Honestly, but yeah,
the ocean.
I wonder when the next Mario game, if they're gonna make Odyssey 2, if they're gonna have fucking water chain chomps.
Do you really think an Odyssey 2 is on the on their mind?
Who the hell knows?
But like, I feel as if, you know, since like I'm only asking because like Galaxy, especially had like what, 2.
Yeah, there was a
games?
second Galaxy game,
Yeah.
and I don't know if Nintendo thought it was cheap because they literally just copy-pasted every asset, and I don't think they normally like to do that. But who knows with what they're doing with the Switch. Switch has 5 more years left of its lifespan. There's going to be another major Mario game on it at some point. There's got to be.
Speaking of like just copying assets, I mean, Majora's Mask was made in a year.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically, you know.
And it's a hit, so it's
Yeah.
like, hey, like we can't really say much, can we?
It's supposed to play exactly like Ocarina, even has like references to it. And it's just, yeah, you're right. I'm wrong about that. Who cares?
Yeah, like,
there might be, but I don't know how they're gonna surpass it because Odyssey was just such a massive.
But that's what I'm thinking, yeah, because it's like that's why I feel as if it's taking so long, because I feel as if maybe after Pikmin and Breath of the Wild come out, that's when like, okay, like we can go back to Mario, because it seems as if at least right now, like the bigger titles are more focused on not Mario than
they made 3D World and added Bowser's Fury to it, which was its own game in and of itself, basically.
How much of a hit was it?
Oh, it was huge. I loved it. I loved it. It's basically like it was a giant open world game and just one massive overworld level, but it controlled like how fucking 3D World did, which was really cool. It literally felt like the perfect crossover between Odyssey and 3D World. Like they took the linear aspects and like the open world aspects and combined it together, and it just this perfect, like, I didn't want to put it down. It's good.
Oh shit.
Good game. Yep.